Good afternoon. This is Dave Jochum, the Director of Membership and Business Development with the Longview Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to our webinar this afternoon with Day Shelmire and the Small Business Development Center on economic recovery. Day has some great plans in the works that he is going to share with us to help our local businesses in the I'm going to say post-pandemic. I don't know if we're really post yet on here, Day, but as we're coming out of this thing, businesses need help. So I know that's what you're going to talk about. So we're happy to have you with us. A couple of points of interest real quick in case you're new to this GoToWebinar platform. If you're not seeing the screen that shows our logo, the Longview Chamber logo, and the SBDC logo, then you might need to click on the little flower image, which should be at the bottom of your screen. And sometimes people haven't clicked on that and need to do that in order to see it. And then that should also bring up the little panel on the right side of your screen where there is a place for questions. We're not going to take questions today. However, you can type some questions in there and we'll shoot those over to Day, and he can possibly get back with you in the future. Or if you want to let me know of any issues you're having with the broadcast, you can type something into that questions box, and that'll alert me that you're having an issue. So with that said, the Longview Chamber has, we've been doing these webinars like this now for several months, ever since we went on lockdown with COVID. And we found that many of our members and members of other chambers in our area have found great value in the things that have been presented. So we're continuing on with these things. And so again, we're happy to have Day Shelmire with us. Day, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you very much, Dave. And is my screen up?
It is not.
Okay. Sorry about that. Hold on one second, folks.
There you go. There it is.
All right. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Welcome to the webinar, folks. Again, Dave mentioned we're not sure we're post-pandemic yet. I wish we were. I've been waiting for that tipping point, and we're just going to go ahead and pretend that it is. I think we're still lingering here. It's like that bad cold that won't go away. But, you know, small business owners need to be prepared for the recovery phase, and we've got some great things to share with you, I think, that will help all small businesses in our area start recovering from this pandemic once we hit that tipping point. So anyhow, let's get going on the presentation here. Again, my name is Dave Shelmire. I'm the director of the UT Tyler Longview Small Business Development Center, and we're going to talk about today, we'll talk about the UT Tyler Longview SBDC, let folks out there that haven't heard of us before, let y'all know what we do and why we're here. We'll talk a little bit about this economic crisis that we're trying to get through to the other side for small businesses, and then we'll also talk about the recovery plan and some additional small business resources that are available to all our small businesses out there to help you get back to growing and thriving again. And first off, I'd like to thank our host, the Longview Chamber of Commerce. My hat's off to the Longview Chamber of Commerce. You all have really provided some great regional leadership here early on in the crisis. One of the very first webinars that I was involved in was hosted and sponsored by the Longview Chamber, and it was really one of the best. We had an SBA regional director on the line, and I felt like it was really a timely webinar that needed to happen. And I've just been impressed with chambers across the country. I've been on a lot of chamber webinars. I've been on a lot of state of Texas, a lot of national webinars, and I have to say that most of the chamber webinars that I was on, I felt were really impactful and very informative. So shout out to all the chambers out there. Y'all have done a great job. I also like to thank the North Texas SBDC. They are our network regional administrator out of Dallas. We're in the North Texas SBDC network, and they have 11 SBDCs in the North Texas area. SBA, of course, we're a resource partner for the SBA. And then our host organization, University of Texas at Tyler, they've done a great job providing our center with all the resources that we need to help small businesses out there in our region. So I'd like to start by telling you all a little bit about the UT Tyler Longview SBDC, what we do. So our mission out there is to provide at no cost business advising and consulting services to entrepreneurs and small business owners in order to help local business start, grow, and thrive. And our service area is Gregg, Harrison, Marion, Panola, Rusk, and Upshur counties. And those are includes the county seats of Longview, Marshall, Jefferson, Carthage, Henderson, and Gilmer. So that's our service area. And here's a sampling, just a small sampling of the services that we provide to help you start businesses, grow your business, or even fix your business. We provide financial projections and feasibility studies, business plan development, competitive analysis, and marketing strategies. We help small businesses with SBA and conventional loan package development. And you can read the rest and go to our website and see some of the other things that we do. But we provide most or all of the same business advising and consulting services that you would find at a Price Waterhouse or KPMG, Accenture, a lot of the big box consulting firms. But the main difference is we provide it at no charge. And the reason we could do this is because your taxpayer dollars pay for our center. The national range for small business advising and consulting services, they range from $100 to $1,500 an hour, and the national average is $400 an hour. And a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners obviously can't afford many hours at those rates. And it's great to have small business development centers out there to be able that you can go to get advising and consulting at no charge. And again, so how are we able to do this? So we're part of a national grant program administered by the SBA. We're considered an SBA resource partner. We're funded by the SBA, the state of Texas, and our host organization, which is UT Tyler. And this center opened in May 1st of last year. And if some of you all remember SBDC being here in the past, for about 20 years, the SBDC here in Longview was hosted by Kilgore College, and they did a great job of hosting this SBDC. It's now hosted by UT Tyler. We're staffed by seasoned entrepreneurs and business people, and our network, the SBDC network, we consist of almost 1,000 centers nationally, over 60 in Texas alone, and every single county in the country is covered by an SBDC. So if you move out of Marshall and move to Dodge City, Kansas someday, and you're going to start a business, there's an SBDC that covers Dodge City. So here are some of our success measures since May of last year. We've counseled almost 300 clients in the last year. We've provided over 2,000 hours of counseling to those small businesses. We've helped in the financing area. We've helped small businesses raise almost $14 million in what we call capital infusion, which is loans and owner equity. 75% of that total, about $9 million, is conventional SBA loans that we help our small businesses get from local banks. We've helped almost 30 businesses get started in that year, and that resulted in about almost 120 jobs created in our area. So this is what SBDCs have done across the country. These are figures from 2018, excuse me. And in 2018, we helped small businesses provide $5.5 billion in financing. We helped them create almost 100,000 jobs, and we helped create almost 17,000 businesses out there. So it's a very robust program. Here's probably the most important statistic on this page. In terms of job growth, the national average for 2018 for small businesses was 1.5%. For SBDC clients, it was almost 18%, an average in job growth. In sales growth, national average was 5.5%. For SBDC clients, that number jumped to 18%. And, you know, we have a great program here, but the truth of the matter is, whether it's an SBDC advisor, whether it's a CPA, a lawyer, or even your Uncle Bill, who's a successful entrepreneur and business owner, you know, it's a proven fact out there that as a small business, you will be more successful if you seek sound advice. Hopefully that's from us, so give us a call. So why are small businesses so important out there? Why is so much attention being paid to small businesses during this crisis? And I want to put this in perspective of why you are, you know, my listening audience out there, why you're so important. There are over 30 million small businesses in the United States that generate roughly 50% of the U.S. GDP. You employ almost 60 million people. So do the math there. You can tell right there, with 30 million small businesses employing 60 million people, the average small business in the United States is small. It's 2 people. It's a mom and pop. You make up almost 50% of the total workforce, and you pay over 40% of the private sector payroll. So, you know, and you're extremely important out there because you create jobs, you spark innovation. Small businesses are much more innovative than large businesses. You provide opportunities to achieve financial success and independence. And, you know, probably one of the most important things is you supply and support major industry. You know, most of the products that you see in a Walmart are produced by small businesses. So this is why the federal government is working so hard to help you and your small businesses get back whole again, because you're a huge part of this economy. This is just a few of our valued clients out there. And I know a lot of you out there recognize these companies. And, you know, these clients run the gamut in terms of size. Some of them are sole proprietors, like Zoe Martin Photography, and range in size to 50 plus employees, like O&D Manufacturing. We work with many different industries. These industries represent, you know, food service, manufacturing, hospitality, transportation, consumer retail. We work with wholesale businesses. We work with B2B. And, you know, we have a lot of experience working with different types of businesses. So I can guarantee you, if you come to us with your business idea to start, or your business that you need help with, I'll bet you we've worked with a business in your industry. Wanted to tell you about a recent success story. You may have seen this on Channel 7 News about a month ago. So back in May, we got a call from Bob Hallmark from KLTV. And usually when Bob Hallmark calls you, you get a little worried. But Bob said, "Hey, are you the SBA?" And we said, "No, we're not the SBA, but we're a resource partner." He said, "Well, there's a gentleman from A1 Tire and Auto Center in Longview, and he's been getting the runaround on his PPP loan. And he can't get any answers, and he's running on fumes." And I said, "Send him over. We can help him." And Rick Hitt came over, and he came to the right spot. We got him, I put him together with our senior business advisor, and Virgil Connor, our senior business advisor, sat down with him, and they actually called his banker who had turned him down for a PPP loan. And Virgil had a relationship with this banker and said, "Would you take a look at this loan again?" And he said, "Virgil, absolutely." And Virgil went to Mr. Hitt's home office, and they went and collected all the information. And in less than a week, Mr. Hitt got his business saving loan. And was very excited about it. And Bob Hallmark did a follow-up story on it that was just great. Only problem was he didn't mention the SBDC, but we were an integral part of that story. And, you know, of course we can help you as well, but you need to come see us for help. And I'll talk more about the EIDL loans and the PPP loans here in a few minutes. So here's your SBDC team, and I'm very excited. I love my team. I've got a great group of people that work here at the UT Tyler Longview SBDC. That's me on the left. I'm the director of the center. I'm an SMU MBA grad. 25 years of my 35-year career I've spent as an entrepreneur. My first company was a high-tech mapping company called Global Visions. My latest company, successful company that I started and sold out of, was a company called Janie's Cakes, a low-tech food manufacturing company. And so I've been in banking, investment banking, and here I am as director of the UT Tyler Longview Small Business Development Center. That's Virgil Connor. He's my senior business advisor. Virgil's a former small business owner himself. He's been working as an SBDC business advisor for almost 15 years now. He was at the Kilgore College SBDC, where he was an award-winning advisor. Kilgore College was an award-winning center. He spent time at the North Central Texas SBDC. That was an award-winning center. Virgil was an award-winning advisor. So he's considered one of the best advisors in the country. And we have him right here in Longview. Brandy Flanagan, another superb business advisor. Brandy is a successful small business owner in her own right. She and her husband own Gym 101 Fitness in Gladewater. They started this Gym 101, I think, 10 or 12, maybe 15 years ago as SBDC clients. And she's also a small business consultant and a published business author. You may know her in Gladewater. She's a Gladewater City Council person. She's former chair of the Board of Governors of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Big Pines. She's got a servant's heart and is just a wonderful business advisor. I'm proud to have her on my team. This bright, shiny young lady here on the right is Lindsay James. She's my office manager, my right arm. She is a UT Tyler veteran administrative assistant. She's the person who, when you call up here, you'll get her on the phone. She is one of the best in the business. I couldn't do it without her. She helped me get this center up and running. And so give us a call and talk to Lindsay. She's awesome. Just want to let you know that these photographs were taken by Zoe Martin. She's one of our SBDC clients. And I would urge everybody out there with this reboot to take this time to freshen your image out there. Go get some business photographs done. Zoe's great. We'll have a lot of fun working with her. So I don't want to dwell on this too much, but I do want to put this in perspective and talk a little bit about this crisis that, again, it's like a bad cold that won't seem to go away. And I have some good news. Here's some good news. I always like to lead with the good news. And I have to mention something that my mother said. I talked to my mother a couple of weeks ago. I was kind of at a down period, and she's almost 90 years old. And I said, Mom, isn't this about the worst time you've ever experienced? And she said, well, no. The Great Depression was the worst time I've ever experienced. And this is pretty bad, but it's nothing like that. And we got through that just fine. So I think my positive attitude comes from my mother. And this is one of the things I wanted to show you. And this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average plotted over a 100-year period, starting in 1896 and finishing a couple of years ago. And the main takeaway, these are all the presidential administrations. This is the Great Depression right here. There's various wars right in here. The 70s oil embargo, the 80s oil crisis, 9/11, the Great Recession is right here. And the great takeaway from this blue line is the line that we need to keep in mind. You know, this market keeps going up through all these crises. And, you know, we're going to get through this and we're going to get out the other side. And it may not feel good right now, and it may be like that lingering cold and take a while for everything to get going again. But this line will continue going up and to the right. So don't worry, we're going to get there, and the UT Tyler Longview SBDC is going to help you recover. Again, you know, the Great Recession response here was about half the size of the federal response for this in the CARES Act. I mean, it's just shocking how huge this is. And they've estimated the New Deal in the Great Depression at about 850 billion in today's dollars, although it's about, you know, twice the per capita spending. But still, this is a massive response. And you'll see the CARES Act versus the total federal budget. This response is serious and aggressive. And so, and I feel like it's working. a lot of our client businesses have gotten those loans, and it's kept people in business, kept their payroll going, kept their employees on payroll. Just to let you know here, this is the SBA's response as part of the CARES Act. Everybody here has probably heard of the EIDL loans and the PPP loans. So as of July 3rd, there were over $134 billion in EIDL loans have been given out. The EIDL loans applications are still being accepted. They're expecting to be accepted through the end of this year. These are the ones that are directly through the SBA. So at SBA.gov, you can go apply for your EIDL loan. We urge all businesses, if you haven't already done so, to go ahead and do that. Go apply now. The PPP loans, as of the 30th, when they shut them down, there were over $500 billion that have been loaned out. And the good news is that as of Monday, the PPP loans reopened, and they're now accepting applications through August 8th. So if you were one of those businesses that waited too long and weren't able to get your PPP loan, contact your local lender. These are the loans that are going through the banks, and I strongly urge you to go apply for both of these loans. If you get accepted, you don't have to, if you get approved in your application, you don't have to accept the loan. So there's no harm, no foul. At least you'll know what you're able to, what you're approved for. So the SBA Recovery Plan, in addition to loans, the CARES Act appropriated additional funding to the SBA for their resource partners, including the SBDC program. So there's more than just loans out there ready to go. So the SBDCs across the country have received budget increases through September of 2021 in order to aid small businesses in economic recovery. Each of the 11 SBDCs in our North Texas region has formulated a plan tailored to meet the specific needs of entrepreneurs and small businesses in their service area. So if you're listening here and you're outside of our service area, there's an SBDC in Tyler, there's one in Mount Pleasant, there's one in Athens that have different service areas. They all have their own plans that are somewhat similar to ours, but they're all tailored to meet the needs of the businesses in our specific areas. So what are we going to be doing for the next 15 months to aid our small businesses in our 6 counties? Here's our plan in a nutshell for businesses in Gregg, Harrison, Marion, Panola, Rusk, and Upshur counties. We're going to be opening 5 new satellite offices. We're going to be hiring 2 additional business advisors to handle the workload of these offices and the businesses that we envision are going to be coming to us to help with the things that small businesses need help with. We're going to be engaging a recovery team of consultants. We're going to be sponsoring expert webinars that they're going to be hosted by the Longview Chamber of Commerce, and all the local chambers are going to be invited to participate. And we're going to be sponsoring non-credit small business CE and certification courses at the UT Tyler Longview University Center. We're really excited about that. So our satellite offices, during this recovery period, we want to make sure that we bring our services closer to the small businesses across our region. We know that if your business is located, on the other side of Jefferson, on the other side of Carthage or Henderson or Gilmer, it's a long haul to get to Longview, and that can mean a 2-hour round trip for you. And so, we want to make sure that we are located in an area that is convenient for you to get to. We've targeted openings for these satellite offices next month, August 1st, I'm hoping. And they'll be by appointment only. We're hoping to staff most of these offices at least 1 day a week and be able to, so you'll be able to call us up and Lindsay will be able to schedule you in Carthage, for instance, if your business is located in Panola County and that's easier for you to get to on a Thursday. So we want to be in your backyard so that you can get the services that you need. So we're also hiring 2 additional business advisors. And what you're seeing there on the left is a screenshot of the uttyler.edu website. And we have 2 business advisor positions open. One's going to be in Longview. One will be located in Marshall. The main qualifications for this is you'll need a business degree. An MBA would be ideal, but not required. We'd like to find some folks that are experienced as entrepreneurs and small business owners. There's other qualifications that are going to be listed on the postings. You can find them under quick links on the uttyler.edu website under employment. They're called business advisor. If you have a hard time finding it, you can contact UT Tyler HR or give us a call, and we'll point you in the right direction. Our target hiring date is August 1st, and these positions will be through September of 2021. So also we're going to be putting together, or we put together, an economic recovery team. And these are the areas that you see on the screen that we felt would make the most impact in our 6-county area. We've put together a team of people in the area of management, training, digital media and marketing, bookkeeping, and QuickBooks, and government contracting. And what I mean by management training is, how do you get the most out of your workforce? How do you best train and manage your people to maximize their performance and efficiency? And we're working with John Grubbs in that area. And I'm going to go through each of these experts here in just a minute. Digital media and marketing, what do I mean by that? This crisis has created a real pivot point. Consumer behavior is changing right before our eyes. If you don't have a web presence, you better get one. And if you don't know how to use social media, you better learn. Things are changing. A lot of restaurants are all of a sudden having to see it every day. They're taking orders online and delivering curbside. That is a pivot point in just one industry, and it's going to happen across the board. Bookkeeping and QuickBooks. Time and time again, during this crisis, we've seen lack of basic bookkeeping knowledge keep businesses from getting the loans that they need to grow and survive. And some of our small businesses were denied PPP and EIDL loans because they didn't keep their books properly. They couldn't show that their business had made a profit last year. Very simple things that, QuickBooks is a fantastic program, and just basic small business bookkeeping is something somewhere in an area that I think we can really help. And we've got a lady who's going to be great in that area, and I'll tell you about her in just a minute. Another area, government contracting. The federal government is the largest contractor on the planet. I'll repeat, it is the largest contractor on the planet. That's just the federal government. There are over 3,000 governments in the United States alone. That's including federal, local, and state governments. And our local small businesses, you owe it to yourself to determine whether there's a government market for your products and services. What certifications can you get? Veteran-owned, minority-owned, Native American, woman-owned. We have a lot of business owners who come in here and say, I'm a woman-owned business. How does that help me? And I have to tell them it doesn't really help you unless you're dealing with federal contracting or government contracting in some way, shape, or form. But we have a lady here who's an expert who can help you in this area. So let's talk about these folks. John Grubbs, he's one of the most popular workshops at the annual SBDC National Conference. I'd heard about him before I moved to Longview. And when I got here, I found out that John is officed in my building. He's a nationally recognized keynote speaker and workforce motivator. He's a published best-selling business author. He's a talent attraction and retention expert. He specializes in growing companies through harnessing the power and effectiveness of human capital. He's an expert at what he does. As a business coach, he works with owners and executives to create detailed plans for growth and recovery. And so we've got a nationally known expert on business management in our backyard, and I'm so excited that he's part of our team and he's available to our small businesses in our 6-county area. Our next expert is Brett Jacquemin, and Brett is with M. Roberts Digital. He came out of the high-tech manufacturing industry as president of an electronic timing and scoring company. He moved into digital media and has been in a senior leadership role in digital media for 18 years. He's an entrepreneur. He's created and developed 4 digital agencies out there, so he knows what it's like to run a business. He's a speaker for the local media association, Southern Newspaper Association, North Carolina Newspaper Association, and a number of others. He was a Digital Edge Award finalist. He's highly qualified, and I'm so glad that he's on our team. So we bring his expertise to the digital media marketing arena. Our next expert is Gayla McCrae, and Gayla is a small business owner. She's a U.S. Air Force veteran where she taught 800 medical officers proper casualty transportation and combat readiness. She's designed and created instructional programs for the use of client businesses in the areas of healthcare and bookkeeping. She's a QuickBooks Pro advisor. She's skilled in budgeting and bookkeeping. She has a degree in healthcare management, and she's working on a master's, and I'm really excited to have Gayla working with us in the area of QuickBooks and the small business bookkeeping. Our next expert is in the area of government contracting and certifications is Paula Grabowski. Paula is also a small business owner, and she's an entrepreneur, writer, business advisor. She's a Texas certified contract manager. She's a former state of Texas hub coordinator. That's HUB stands for Historically Underutilized Business. She's an expert in statewide HUB, SAMs, and DUNS. And if you're sitting there scratching your head and don't know what HUB, SAMs, and DUNS means, then you need to give us a call because you need to find out what these things are. And Paula has a degree in business from Texas A&M. She's working on an MBA at UT Tyler. And one of the things that she can do is come in and assess and see what certifications you need and help you decide whether your product or service has a government market out there. So excited to have Paula as part of our team. So the next question is, how do you access a member of our recovery team? You have to be a client of the SBDC, and the way you become a client of our SBDC, it's really simple. On the right there, you see a screenshot. You go to our website. It's longviewsbdc.org. And on the right side of the page, you'll see a red box that says Business Assessment Survey. That's the first step. And you fill out our Business Assessment Survey, and then Lindsay will contact you to schedule an initial consultation with one of our business advisors. And based on that consultation, a recovery team member will be assigned to you based on your needs. And let's say it's bookkeeping. You really need help with QuickBooks and setting up your chart of accounts in QuickBooks and figuring out the best way to do bookkeeping. We look at it in 3 phases, and we'll help you with the first 2 phases. The first phase is, let's say it's bookkeeping and it's Gayla McCrae. Gayla will either get on the phone with you, a Zoom call, or come to your office, depending on this crazy, where we are in the coronavirus thing. And the first phase will be discovery and fact finding. She'll spend some time with you to figure out what's going on, how you're keeping your books now. And then based on that, she'll go off and in phase 2, she'll create for you an action plan and recommendations. And you'll come back together and she'll go through the action plan and recommendations with you as part of phase 2. And those 2 phases are on us. We will provide Gayla services for you at no cost. Phase 3 is client implementation. You can take her action plan and recommendations and implement them yourself, or you can hire somebody to do that, or you can even hire Gayla to help implement in phase 3. But at least we'll help you get started in phases 1, phases 2. The next thing that we're going to do, and I'm really excited about this, we're going to be bringing some national expertise to East Texas. And these webinars, through webinars, and these are going to be hosted by the Longview Chamber at a nominal charge. We already have the first one on the books. And I would strongly urge all you business owners out there to take advantage of these. The first one is going to be a lady named Melissa Forziat. She specializes in what I call mom and pops. She calls them micro businesses, which are the bulk of our businesses in our 6-county area. And she is a marketing expert. And it starts Wednesday, July 29th and runs through the last session is Wednesday, August 19th. And if you're a B&B owner in Jefferson, or a specialty boutique owner in Carthage, or if you own an antique store in Gladewater, or an ice cream shop in Gilmer, restaurant in Henderson, coffee shop in Marshall, whatever it is, this will be so worth it for you to spend 1 hour out of your week. Even if you get one serious nugget out of this webinar series, it might turn your business around or might get you to the next level. I promise you these webinars are going to be well worth it. You'll see the next webinar I'm trying to get, I don't have a date for this one yet. It's with Mark Wilson. Mark, he specializes in what I call Main Street retail or town square retail. And we're going to try to get him on board with a webinar that's going to talk about those issues that folks, the businesses around the town square or on Main Street are having across America, having to compete with the Walmarts out there. How do you do that? He's an expert at this. The next webinar I'm going to bring to our area is another great one, a la carte food service consulting group. This is a man named Chris Tripoli out of Houston. He is an expert in restaurants and restaurant consulting. He started a bunch of different restaurants, national chains. One of them is Trulux, as you've probably heard of. He knows a lot about restaurants and food service, and he is going to be a great one. And stay tuned to your local chambers for when those webinars are going to be rolled out. It's going to be exciting. I'm glad we're going to be able to sponsor these. This is a slide from our UT Tyler Longview University Center. And I'm so excited about this. The Longview University Center has agreed to do a small business series sponsored by our SBDC. They're going to be hosting 3 small business classes in the fall starting in October. And it's going to be great. The first one you see there, it's a business planning course, and it's called the Kaufman Fast Track course. We did this one last fall. It went through January of last year, and it was very successful. We had about a dozen businesses that participated. What I love about this, the Kaufman Foundation is the largest foundation in the world exclusively dedicated to entrepreneurship, and they've developed over the last 2 decades this fast track course. And we have a facilitator named Chuck Vanderbilt. He's a regional services manager for ETCOG, the East Texas Council of Governments, and he facilitates this course. And he brings local experts in. And by the end of this course, if you do all the modules through Fast Track, you end up with a full-blown business plan that's ready to go to a bank or investment group to start your business. And last year, this course was sponsored by 4 local banks. I have to thank them again because it was so great. Austin Bank, Bancorp South, Southside Bank, and Vera Bank sponsored this course, and it was really successful, and I really thank them for helping us there. The next course that's going to start in October is our QuickBooks course, QuickBooks Online and Small Business Bookkeeping. It's going to be taught by Gail McCrae, one of our recovery team members. She's a QuickBooks Pro advisor. She's going to be putting this course together. And again, it's going to be in the evening. I strongly urge you to take this course. Your financials are the language of your business. And every small business owner out there needs to understand how to keep your books properly, how to read an income statement and a balance sheet, and especially cash flow. And this is going to be a great course. The next course that's going to be taught is our government contracting and certifications course. It's going to be taught by Paula Grabowski, who, again, a member of our recovery team. And again, it's going to be a comprehensive course where you're going to learn whether whether how to get certified for being a veteran-owned business, and what you being a veteran-owned business means in terms of whether your product or service can be marketed to the federal government, state and local government. So it's going to be a great course. If you want more information, this is the email address, continuinged@uttyler.edu. You can email there and get more information, or go to the uttyler.edu website. Really excited about this. Also wanted to introduce another center that's a partner of ours at University of Texas at Tyler. It's the East Texas Entrepreneurship Center. Jeff Howlett is the new director there, and we're going to be partnering with ETech to support economic development in East Texas. So you're going to see Jeff a lot more in our region. He's in charge. His center is in charge of economic development. We have an entrepreneurship program, technology commercialization, and also many of you probably heard of the UT Tyler Hibbs Institute, and the Hibbs Institute is part of the ETech. So we're going to be coming around, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of Jeff in the future. So I'm about to wrap this up. Wanted to let you know that there are tons of small business resources out there, and in this crisis, you've probably been looking for them online. I just wanted to remind you, the SBDC is always here for you. I'm going to show my slide here in a minute that'll have our contact information. Again, one of the things that I do whenever the slides pop up, we're going to be sharing these slides with the chamber. Anybody that wants a copy of these slides for this information can email us and get them. But if you have your cell phone, and I usually take a picture of the screenshot if I want to remember something on the fly. And these are small business resources. Believe it or not, the Small Business Administration has some great stuff for small businesses, as does the Department of the Treasury. Some of the best stuff really can be found on the state of Texas governor's website, of all things. The Texas Workforce Commission has a lot of information on your employees and how the PPP loans affect your employment. U.S. Chamber of Commerce has some great stuff, as does America's SBDC. That's our SBDC network. So just to summarize, and again, we're not taking questions today, but I'm going to summarize this. UT Tyler Longview SBDC Economic Recovery Plan. We're opening 5 satellite offices through September of 2021. We're going to be hiring 2 additional business advisors. We're engaging a recovery team of consultants, sponsoring expert webinars. We are hosting small business courses at UT Tyler Longview University Center, and we're partnering with the ETech. And I know it might not feel like it right now, but it's really time for our small businesses in East Texas to focus on recovery. We will be coming to the other side of this darkness. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and we are at the SBDC. We're here to help. This is our contact information. You can find us. Our phone number is 903-757-5857. You call that number and you'll get Lindsay on the other end of the line. You see our web address there. We are available for all entrepreneurs and all small business owners out there. Give us a call. And Dave, thank you so much to the Longview Chamber for hosting this webinar, and I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Dave. Great information, and it's just very exciting to see the work that you guys are doing and how you're expanding things. This is going to be a great help to our East Texas businesses and entrepreneurs as we enter this recovery phase from this pandemic. So, man, I'm excited about what you're doing, and so that's going to be great for our economy as these small businesses get things going. Wanted to remind you that this webinar has been recorded, and everyone who registered for it will get the link to the recording by email as soon as we've got it all finalized and wrapped up. And want to let you know, take a liberty here if you're interested. This has been our Business Solutions Summit Week at the Longview Chamber of Commerce, presented by M. Roberts Digital. And if you go to longviewchamber.com, and go to our calendar, you'll see that we offered several webinars this week. Now, this one was for free. The others we have are in a package for just $15. There's 4 webinars that you can get, and you'll get a recording of all of them. There's one more live one tomorrow morning with Action Coach of East Texas. They'll be presenting on building a referral-based business. So you might just want to check that out again, longviewchamber.com. And then Day, your website, I remember you saying longviewsbdc.org. Now I see on this slide, it says uttyler-longviewsbdc.org.
Yep, that's correct, Dave. And that is the official address of our website. You can also get there by just typing in longviewsbdc.org. So we have both of those addresses. It's just a lot easier saying that than it does, saying the whole thing. So sorry,
yeah, that's understandable. I just wanted to clear that up for everybody to make sure we're here. So we can just go longviewsbdc.org and we'll get to the same website. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again, Day. Appreciate what you guys are doing with the SBDC. Thank you everyone for being on the call today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.